This takes me back right here, man. Riding the bus. Like, I know this has been done. People have spoke about it. I'm going to give my own version of it. But riding the bus was such a pivotal part of my childhood, and most people my age grew, even before. The bus was like a social place to be. Like, it was actually a location to us. It was a very eventful place to be honest, for so many reasons. I mean, let's just take it to the morning, like especially after the first day of school. Like, you figuring out who's on your bus, who's in the neighborhood. If you hadn't, scouted out who lives in your neighborhood, if you just moved into it, you find out who lives there. Is there a cute girl? Is there a cool homeboy? Is somebody that can hoop there? You find out who's on your bus. You actually would categorize, these are my neighborhood and bus friends. These are my school friends. These are my church friends. These are my summer camp friends. Like, bus friends, neighborhood friends, that was a thing for sure. Also, that was a place where, now all of the kids in certain neighborhoods meet at one stop. But buses used to go through the neighborhood. They would go through the entire neighborhood and pick you up from different stops. And so that we always talk about, like, having some nice clothes on, having that gear on, having that drip. This was a moment, especially after Christmas break. You come back, it might be freezing and everything, but you got on the fresh gear, you post it up, you seeing kids walk up to the stop, you see what you got on, everybody kind of observing each other before they get on the bus. That's a thing. And then when you get on the bus, that smell, like, I can, just looking at the picture, I can still smell that leather. I could smell that smugginess in the bus, but it was just what it was. Like, we never thought nothing about it. Like, man, where's the plug-ins? Man, where's the Febreze? That was just a part of it. But that wasn't the only smell. Somebody had too much cologne on. Somebody might have had some perfume on. There was a lot of different smells. I want to shout out to one of my big cousins. Like, he was a senior, and he was definitely indulging in some things for sure. And here's the crazy thing, shout out to our ancestors, shout out to Rosa Parks, for what she stood for, for wanting to sit in front of the bus because her feet hurt and didn't feel like going all the way to the back. But the craziest part of it all is the back was the honorary place to be at. Like, and the people that were older, like the seniors, juniors, if you're middle school, whatever it is, whoever's the oldest in class, they get to sit in the back. And we knew what time it was. You might get lucky to sit in the back if there's too many kids everywhere and the person in the back that wanted to sit alone had to share a seat. You might have got, blessed enough to get to sit back there where the action was. You hearing them talk about all kind of stuff you ain't familiar with, you're not getting into. You just a fly on the wall, getting to sit back there with the seniors and the juniors, upperclassmen. So, but then when you move up in rank and you get in the older class, how you slowly start to move to the back because now you the big dog. That was like a big thing for real. Like, I'm in the back now. They already know no fresh meat back here. Sit up. Now you go sit up there. You can't sit. It was so established. They would look back there and see the seniors or the upperclassmen. They know, like, oh, it ain't even an option. Even if it was just one of us in the seat, they go and sit with somebody 3 to a seat. That's the power of sitting at the back of the bus. You don't get to sit back here. And then when we were on the bus, that was a place that we would socialize in the sense that we'll talk about what happened over the weekend. Some of us was wrestling fans, so a pay-per-view. Everybody didn't have money or wasn't copping the pay-per-views, but somebody did, and they give us the whole layout of what happened during the pay-per-view, and we would just eat it up. People rapping their lyrics with they CD player, they rapping out loud. I was definitely one of them annoying people rapping my lyrics out loud for the whole world to hear. Nobody cared to hear, especially in the morning. And also when you get on the bus, some of us will be extra tired. And so you look at like, this is an opportunity to go back to sleep. I'm going back to sleep. Now, there's a difference between somebody that's wise and unwise. The unwise person would say, hey, let me sit in the inside, because they thinking, oh, I'm gonna lean my head on the window. I'll lean my head on the window. That's a free little pillow. I'm gonna make it work. But y'all didn't realize every day you got on the bus, there was some kind of speed bump, some kind of pothole that would interrupt your sleep. And there's that little bit of screw that's sitting on the side of that window on that little panel that always, like, if you ain't careful, that screw will put you in a coma. For real. It was serious business. I learned that lesson quick. The wise person going to sleep understood, lean your head forward onto the brown or green leather seat. Yes, it's not great. Yeah, it's a little moist. It's questionable body fluids on there. Who sat here before me? However, we had to trust that whoever cleaned the bus, it was sanitary. We didn't know, but we also drank water fountains after each other too. That was just the time we lived in. That's the wise person. Put your head forward and sleep that way. It wasn't comfortable, but it could get the job done if you're sleepy enough. And then also just how important it was to know which bus you were riding. Like, here's the thing that I never played about. When you get in the end of the day, like, oh yeah, it's 3:00, it's time to leave. I'm ready to get to the crib. I'm gonna play my video games. I'm about to go hoop. I'm about to eat me some ramen noodles. You know what I mean? You hear the announcements at the end of the day and you hear those bus changes. Like, I didn't play. I would stop mid-conversation no matter what was going on, because we lived a little further out of town. And if you found out your bus got switched and you wasn't listening and you're looking for it, you're going to have to call your parents. And trust me, that is nothing you want to do. When they find out, why weren't you on the bus and now I got to leave and come to the school to get you? You're not a car rider, my guy. You are a bus rider. Why didn't you hear the bus change? So that was important. And then getting to the bus for the evening after school is out, buses are lined up. You know we're going to go over there. We about to holler. We about to be talking with our girlfriend, or you talking with your boyfriend at one of y'all buses, and you're using the very last minutes of hanging together, because you might have not had the day to really hang out like you really wanted to. I didn't get to hang with you in the locker. I didn't see you at lunch. I didn't meet you at the bathrooms today. We don't have classes together. This is your last moment physically seeing each other. Like, and obviously we did not have Skype at the time, even though that's even old now, or FaceTime. So it's like, I'll call you when I get home when my minutes are free. I'll call you on the house phone. But even then, you know what I mean? That ain't the same as seeing each other in person. So this meeting up at the buses before they was getting ready to leave was everything. And we used every little minute. And that was also the location where people, it was on site. You already knew when rumors break out, like people about to scrap, people about to fight. Oh, they about to get it. Hey, they said, meet me by bus 301. And it was going down. You see people huddle up. Before the teachers get there, everybody scrambling, get on your bus. And guess what we gonna do? Crack them windows down, press the little levers down, drop the window, and look through and see what's going on. But we always made sure we got on our bus, man. The bus was just such an essential thing. I know kids still ride the bus. It's not that they don't, but the engagement is different because of cell phones. We didn't have those type of cell phones to just be able to roam the internet. Like, man, y'all try to roam the internet on a Razor phone. But some people didn't ride buses. Some people got older and they had cars, and we looked at you like a unicorn. Like, you had to be, like, you got money, like you were Richie Rich in our eyes. Like, how do you have a car? Like, how is this? Like, we couldn't do the math on it. How do you have a car? We was amazed when people had Jordans and certain kicks and stuff, and we talking real little. But when you had a car, we like, bro, how the hell did that happen? You know. So shout out to the people that had whips that would like riding around. But even then, when you did have a homie or a homegirl that had a car and you had a really dope bus that you rode on where action was going down, you still might debate and be like, I'm gonna ride the bus home. You didn't want to be mean just because you don't want to miss out on nothing, because that's how big of a deal the buses were. It was such a social place for us, and it meant so much to us. Man, those bus rides was everything. So y'all go check out our podcast, The Childish Grown Up Show. It comes out every Wednesday. It's on this feed, this channel, as well as all of your podcast apps. Don't miss out. This Wednesday, we'll be reviewing Batman Forever, the 1995 film. Thank y'all for listening. Peace out.